Yes, guys, yes, guys, yes, guys, yes, guys. Welcome back to another Vibes here on BRBPTV Live Interaction Reaction Vibrations. I know you're not seeing me on the screen right now. That is because I'm readjusting this thing. I had to make a thumbnail from this thing right there, so I'm readjusting it so I can make sure that everything runs fine and dandy. The individual was involved in making this video. Apparently, I'm not sure why they distanced the camera so far, so I have to actually readjust these vibrations. But welcome to every single one of you guys who've tuned into these vibrations. I do appreciate you guys on this here BRBPTV vibrations. Those of you guys are accustomed of actually watching me on the Mr. Licks Reacts channel. This is your boy right there, and of course this is the screen that we're going to be reacting to in a moment. And of course we're gonna get to the double screen vibrations right there. But let me get into this BRBPTV hosting screen so I can get to see all the individuals who are joining in live on these vibes. I see there are 3 individuals in. Let me switch over to the actual channel so I can actually get the interface. Yes, guys, so welcome to every single one of you guys. Like I always ask, there's always a 10-minute waiting period where I tend to wait for a number of persons to come in and of course give their views on a number of things in the live chat box as we react to the video in question, United Workers Party press conference, so to speak, where they're going to be having some serious discussions, and we're going to get into that vibration for probably like, I don't want to say 2 hours, guys. Hopefully I can get to do that in less than that. The actual video is actually 2 hours. I'll of course post that in the description link in the video at the end of this video, guys, so you guys can definitely see these vibes as it comes through right there. And then the goal here is for me to actually try to do more of this live interaction reactions at around 8 o'clock your time. It's not 8 o'clock my time, it's a bit late. When I got this stuff, I had a little back, what do you call that, a little setback right there. But we are definitely in the building once again. Let me get into this. Okay, I'm in it to win it, guys. How many individuals are in the building? I have 5 people here so far. But of course, like I always ask, guys, where are you guys watching from? Are you guys new to this here live interaction reaction? And I appreciate the individuals who gave the thumbs up so far. Welcome to every single one of you guys. We are 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes in. Obviously, we're going to be waiting for a number of persons to come in. Let me do a little more setup. But as indicated right there, guys, let me know where you guys are watching from. I would appreciate that 150% and then some in addition to that right there. So let me know where you guys are watching from. 2 likes. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that 150% as well. Let me see, is this fine? Yes, guys, also share this live, share the live, man. Share the live right there. And then I think persons would have come in more like around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's close to 9 o'clock right there, guys. So of course I would appreciate you guys if you guys definitely click the thumbs up button in that regard right there. And of course share the live. Share the live. This video that we're going to be reacting to is 2 hours long, but I am definitely not going to be reacting to 2 hours long video. I'm actually gonna, let me make sure I put this a bit fast paced right there, so it'll cut down the time to at least 2 hours, an hour and 50 minutes if I cut down the pace in time right there. But welcome to every single one of you guys. I see we have 8 individuals in the building. 2 likes. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button, guys. And if you'd like to do so, also share this video as well, and also in the live chat. So let me switch over to live chat right there. Okay, nobody's in the live chat, that's crazy. But let me know where you guys are watching from. Welcome to another live interaction reaction on this here BRBPTV. I'm your boy Miss Licks, and I definitely do appreciate the interactions that I tend to get from time to time when we definitely do this here interactions. How much minutes we have in this thing so far? We have 4 minutes. Wow, I thought I was talking for a long time. But yes, guys, I appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate the thumbs up. Thanks to the individuals who just came in and automatically click the thumbs up button. I appreciate you guys for definitely doing that right there. We're gonna be having a good time, brothers and sisters. I'm not really sure what exactly is gonna be stated right there, like I always indicated before, I like to do interactions where I am completely unaware of the context of the reaction. Right there, I think I was mentioning that on the live, the reaction channel, the Mistakes reaction, guys, where I was indicating that I actually saw a video, and I was kind of mad that I actually saw the video before I did the reaction. So that's why I like to do the reactions, because it gives me my authentic view. It gives me my authentic, well, I share my authentic thoughts to you guys right there. And of course, you get to share your authentic thoughts as well. 14 of you guys in the building. Big up yourself one time. If you have not done so, brothers and sisters, definitely, like I indicated before, click the thumbs up button. Click the thing, man. Don't be shy, don't be afraid. And obviously, guys, if you want to be part of the live chat interaction, if you want to do so, you can definitely subscribe. You have to subscribe to the channel, because the live chat is subscriber only. So if you definitely just want to see the reaction, that's fine. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine too. If you subscribe and you still don't want to talk, that's fine too. You can definitely do so, of course, giving my thoughts in that regard. Sometimes I know some people tend to bring their family members, and instead of chatting in the live chat, they discuss it amongst their family. So I think that is pretty interesting right there, where I get to also bring families together, where they can have discussions on the things that I actually see, and obviously weighing the merit of the discussion on the actual video itself. So I think that is a good thing, you know, always creating that dialogue, whether you are on the live chat or amongst your peers or amongst your family. I think that is always a good thing, to always maintain that dialogue, so we can see what actually makes sense and what doesn't make sense, and obviously moving on forward to that. Like I always indicated before, and I will say it again, guys, for the new individuals in the building, don't forget to do what? Click the like button right there. Also, if you're in the live chat or wanted in the live chat, you can also let me know your thoughts, and let me know if you're hearing me clearly. Do you want me to go louder? What exactly do you want me to do? You can also share your thoughts, as well as other individuals seeing what you have to say right there. Obviously, we maintain a PG-13. That's one of the things that I run on, a PG-13 platform, where we always give our views but maintain some level of respect, just in case families are listening. And obviously not just family, but God also listening as well, so we have to maintain that as well in that regard right there. So obviously, guys, like I indicated before, it's gonna be fun. Let me know your thoughts as we go along. I will definitely read your thoughts as well. Obviously, people will also see what you're saying in the live interaction reaction, and that should be fun right there. We are almost 8 minutes in, so I have 2 minutes remaining for more people to come in. If nobody else comes in, we are gonna continue right there. We have 16 individuals in the building. Whoop whoop. I know later in the chat, when people finally see that I'm going live or have been live for a few minutes, that's when they tend to come in. You know, that's always interesting right there. But big up to all you guys who have tuned in so far. And of course, like I indicated before, if you have not done so, subscribe, brothers and sisters, if you want to leave a live chat as well. Let's also let me see what they call that. They call them fan funding. So if you want to leave a token for the vibrations, you know, it's not $5 an offering, brothers and sisters, but if you want to support the vibes that I'm doing right there, you can also send some super chats or super stickers. I've not created the channel membership yet. I have one for the Mistakes vlog channel, where I tend to do some behind the scenes vibes, and of course individuals who are part of that will get to see all the videos that are actually behind it. I remember I was actually on that video of Mr. Felix Henderson. I actually did the funeral, and actually had the funeral on the membership platform on the Mistakes vlogs. So it's still up. If you have not seen it yet, you can definitely go over there, and it's for all tiers, so you can just, you know, become a member on the Mistakes vlog channel, and then you will get to see that vibes. It was man, I tell you, it was a very sad time to actually be there, but of course Mr. Felix Henderson did a wonderful job, you know, learning about his journey, so to speak, learning about his youth and where he came from, poverty, and then making himself into being one of the persons that is a formidable individual. I think that is always a good thing right there. So like I indicated before, guys, if you want to definitely leave a super sticker, you want to, you know, support the movement, guys, just definitely check the links, check the channel links. You will definitely get that. Or if you want to leave a super sticker, you can definitely get that right there. Okay, guys, we have reached the 10-minute mark. Let me see. Yes, we have. So with that stated right there, guys, we're gonna get into the vibes, and of course, let's get into it right now. I'm gonna be moving forward, so skip all the introductions. What's going on here?
A town hall meeting to discuss a series of pertinent issues affecting us as Norwegians. To begin, we will have our opening prayer by the Honorable Daniel Woody.
Okay, thank God for the prayers. Amen. Hey, that is so man. Guys, the audio is not on my part, by the way, because I'm actually hearing the audio very low. Let me bring it all the way up for you guys right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is a great pleasure and honor that I stand before you today on this very significant occasion to welcome you in this gathering to participate in a matter of utmost importance for beloved British country. Electoral reform and context has been a topic of interest to all sundry, and I'm bold to say to everyone that has been an issue of discussion for nearly 2 decades in the Commonwealth. Yet the government and the authority mandated by law to govern the election of the Electoral Commission continue to play daily tactics in order to prevent real electoral reform to take shape from what is our society in order to bring the government in the government that it truly deserves. First and foremost, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the United Voters Party for its continued support in organizing this momentous formal science. I would also equally like to extend my gratitude and appreciation to those of you who have made it possible to be present on such short notice. It clearly shows that we all are serious about defending one of the most fundamental principles of pillars of our democracy, free and fair elections. I would also like to take a moment to express our deepest appreciation to the many organizations who have been both very hard and tireless in ensuring that submission of recommendations to the
So the new individuals who came in, guys, the audio seems to be on their part. It's definitely not on my part. I tried to increase the audio all the way up to the maximum. So if you're having any issues, I see Cameron Dupini is saying the song is not clear. It's actually not clear on my part either. But hopefully that does clear up. However, I'm gonna skip through this part. It's just giving the introduction, and of course, let's see if we can get to the meat of what is being stated right there. But I think on their part, I've noticed that on the other live, well, they actually rectified that situation a bit later on. But if you do not have a direct connection to the song, the microphone, I think you should go closer to the speaker. I think that is something that they probably need to work on, or get the attachment for your actual camera, and you can just get the song directly. Maybe they did this in a way for them to get all the reactions of the crowd as well as them, but I think, you know, much can be done in that regard.
Next, we will have a very brief remarks on the purpose of the electoral reform by our General Secretary, Mr. Nicholas.
Also, guys, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that as well. Click the thumbs up button as well. Good evening. How is the audio? Okay, that's what he asked. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna skip through because this is 2 hours right there. I know Lennox has a number of things he wants to say, so let's get to Lennox. I know Thomson also is there as well. I know Edison is there as well, Edison James. So we're gonna get to them right there. I want to make sure you guys are not bombarded with, you know, introductions and so forth. Okay, here's Mr. Lenox Linton. He has a powerful voice, so I'm sure it'll be clearer. The audience.
Good night.
Who's that guy? Curtis? Curtis in the building.
Nice to see you. Nice to see y'all. You know the one. Alright. Give me a second here. Let me work out something here. Good to see you all.
Okay. I think that's better.
We having this town hall meeting tonight so that we could share some information about the bills in the going before the Parliament sometime this quarter. What that means for the electoral reform we've been talking about for a number of years, and where do we go from here? We have an electoral system that allows the ruling party to steal elections through corrupt manipulation of the registered voters resident overseas, bribery, treating, the abuse of state resources, control of the media, and unrestricted election campaign spending. Within all of those, the Labour Party has found a strategy that it has engaged over the last 4 election cycles to ensure that election results come back in its favor. And this electoral fraud, let's call it what it is denying the people the right to free and fair election of government, of the people, by the people, for the people. It has severely compromised the rule of law. It has fatally undermined good, accountable, transparent government. Manipulation of the electoral process has undermined the credibility of institutions like the Electoral Commission, the judiciary, and the security forces. These institutions have become tools of the ruling party. They have lost their independence, and the people have lost confidence in them as checks and balances in this democracy.
Guys, I know they did a court matter where they are looking to find out what has happened to the CBI funds. I hope, hopefully, they do definitely talk about this as well. We have been hearing this whole thing about electoral reform. We know we need electoral reform. We know that the government has been manipulating the system so that they can constantly be winning elections. Like I always indicated before, brothers and sisters, no new party coming in going to make a difference. I don't think people understand this. I will keep reiterating it until people get it in their heads. No new party that comes in will cause a new form of government to start unless there is proper electoral reform. So I think we need to get into that step. Obviously, they have been talking about electoral reform for quite some time. However, what needs to be done is what I want to know right there. We keep saying we need this, we need that, we need this, we need that. Great. Okay. What needs to be done? That is what I really want to know right here. So hopefully I can get the answers to that.
The economic consequences of government by electoral fraud have been brutal. For 25 years, we have remained the smallest, slowest growing economy in the OECS with the largest cabinet of ministers. Corruption and mismanagement have increased and accountability has diminished, while self-preservation of the ruling party has been prioritized over national development.
Facts.
We have had 4 elections since the 2008 May Day alert to Roseau scary from Anthony Estefan that a decision by the Electoral Commission to clean the voters list and issue ID cards for voting meant madness was going on at the Commission that would destroy his re-election legacy. For 17 years, we have stood aside and looked as the corrupt manipulation of the electoral process against free and fair elections protected Skerritt's re-election legacy.
Facts.
And during that time, we sank deeper and deeper into the crisis of what Skerritt calls a country adrift. Adrift with misleadership and corrupt, incompetent management. In the words of his ousted second-in-command, Reginald Austrie, quote, "Last for too long in this world and behind in too many things."
Yep.
Every year of government by electoral fraud has brought greater hardship and misery to the people of Dominica. The leader of government by electoral fraud boasted that Dominica spends hundreds of millions of dollars every year to employ foreigners in construction and other areas while Dominicans stand aside and look.
This is by intention. This is by design what the government is doing to the Dominican people. It is by design. Like I always try to bring the United States into things, brothers and sisters, on the merit of them literally putting the foreigners instead of the citizens. The same thing we see in Dominica, where the foreigners are actually getting the jobs and Dominicans are left to beg the foreigners to see if they can get a job from them. And the Dominican people are seeing this and they literally just not doing anything at all. I think there's a weakened of the mind when it comes into the situation, or it's either that the people are broken and they just accepted their fate. And I don't think that is a good thing when it comes down to the next generation, or to the betterment for the next generation right there.
Unemployment decreased, and working poor people were burdened with higher prices for food, for clothing, for shelter, for water, for lights, and phone communication. Government by electoral fraud imposed a garbage tax that takes over $10 million a year from the people of this country and is unable to make proper arrangements for garbage collection and disposal. The growth engines of the economy: agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, services, either declined or remain at a standstill, going nowhere fast through the underperformance of these economic engines under the incompetence of government by electoral fraud. We have been denied thousands of good-paying jobs and national income contributions of hundreds of millions of dollars.
They've been giving them to whom? The foreigners.
Healthcare standards declined dramatically under the pressures of inadequate medical supplies and dysfunction of hospital management systems. Government by electoral fraud says, I see you tonight. Bye-bye. I see you today. Goodbye. Government by electoral fraud turned its back on hosting games in the ICC T20 Cricket World Cup. I could not have cared less than St. Lucia paid.
Bruh, that self is something else, eh? The contractors stated that Dominica had everything it needed to do what needed to be done, and would have been done June or July of 2023. January of 2024, nothing has been done. The contractor himself wondering what has happened. He doesn't know. And as a result of that, Dominica was denied international games. Why? Why, brothers? Why? Monies flowing into Dominica would have been vital at that point to help the Dominican people, but scared them, made sure that it did not come through, even though they themselves did a bid. So they cannot say, hey guys, we stated that this was going to happen, something fell short, and it did not happen. Look, you think we were joking. No, we did a bid. We did a bid. They can say we did a bid. They set it up where they did the bid and literally caused the Dominican citizen to miss the opportunities of not just seeing the ICC World Cup Cricket 2024, but of course, the opportunities where Dominicans could actually make money from that as well. I tell you, intentional. This is by design. This is not a joke. This is not mistakes. Intentionally being done, brothers and sisters.
Right here in Dominica, to MPD, to borrow Dominica's money to meet its host responsibilities for the same ICC Cricket World Cup. Government by electoral fraud has been a serial killer of the hopes and dreams of young people in this country. Yet this government by electoral fraud received hefty salary increases of between $2,300 and $4,000 per month, while thousands of public servants receive not one red cent more on their meager weekly and salaries.
Gasa, can you imagine scaring them taking $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in addition to their salaries? I would understand if these people actually doing things and better in Dominica in some way, shape or form, and of course Dominica was making a lot of profit, and they can do these things while the citizens themselves benefit as well. But none of it has happened. Scary them keep saying Dominica don't have money, yet still they increasing their own salaries. Not just that, they're giving people who the people don't even need to help them jobs. They are called advisors to the Prime Minister. They are called advisors to the Prime Minister. And what have they done? We don't know. They're advising the Prime Minister to do what? You would say, okay, he probably needed advisors to help him. Advise him to do what? It's supposed to show You know, by your fruits you shall know them. It's supposed to show. It's not showing at all. Yet still we have advisors to the Prime Minister and absolutely nothing on the benefit of the people is actually coming to the people right there. That is something. This is by design, I tell you. Intentionally doing this to the citizens. If you guys don't see, well, c'est la vie.
Electoral fraud, we lost visa-free access to Britain because certain Dominican signal agents insisted on selling Dominican citizenship to crooks and criminals at bargain prices and without probable motives. Beneficiaries of the electoral manipulation.
Okay, their mic has a problem. Their mic has a problem, bruh.
Also confirmed, the Spanish passport selling deal at Anthony Gate of NMC has forced government into a situation where it is now receiving less than 10% of Dominica's citizenship by investment revenues, while Haiti controls over 90% of this money
facts.
that belongs to the people of Dominica.
And this amount is not far-fetched, because when it comes down to business in the international realm, that's what tends to happen. 90% of the profit goes back to these individuals, to a handful of people, and 10% goes back to the business. Obviously, when it comes down to that situation, Dominica is the business right there. So only 10% comes back. So we cannot say, hey guys, you know, no money is coming in. Only 10% come back, and they handling the 90% outside of Dominica. How can this be not corruption, brothers and sisters? How can this be not corruption right there?
Before I came, we were receiving CBI revenues in excess of $500 million a year from the Economic Diversification Fund. I remind you of the monthly cash flow report of the Parliament for the period July 1st, 2016 to March 30th, 2017. 9 months. $396.9 million, an average of $44.1 million per month before the fraudulent deal to give Haiti his own CDI facility that has effectively driven Dominica's CDI program down to significantly less income from significantly higher passport sales.
That is the crazy part that I cannot understand. If we're selling 1,000 passports and we're making $1 billion, right? We're making $1 billion from selling 1,000 passports. Yet still, we apparently, well, next year, we are selling 5,000 passports and making about $2.5 billion. If 1,000 passports is worth $1 billion, we should be getting about $5 billion on the 5,000 passports. True or false? But yet we are getting half the amount of what we should have actually be getting right there. Isn't that a level of corruption, brothers and sisters? And this is why clarity and clarification needs to be done when it comes down to the CBI program right there.
For the 8-year period, 2016 to 2024, the government by electoral fraud has refused to account for $8 billion from the sale of over 50,000 Dominican passports and was not placed in the consolidated fund of Dominica as mandated by the
law. Yep.
Remember, this misleader, who professes to love Dominica so much, has placed over 90% of Dominica's citizenship money in the hands of his friends to do things that the people are paying government to do. Now,
before you continue, guys, you know what that reminds me of? What Lennox just described there sounds like an abusive relationship. For example, I know we always look at the man beating the woman, but let's flip it. The woman is beating the man consistently. And when she's beating him on the tubes in terms of verbal abuse, brothers and sisters, she's verbally abusing the man back to back to back to back, back, front, inside out, upside down, all over. Verbal abuse, like, whoa. Then from time to time, she says, baby, I wouldn't do it again. I love you. I love you, baby. So she comes out, she says, I love you. And sometimes you might see them in public and they holding hands, you know, holding hands. But then when they go back inside the home, a little thing just stick the lady and she blows on the man again. Blows, just constant blows, constant verbal abuse. That is the kind of relationship it seems like Dominic Skerritt have with Dominica. And he's the woman giving Dominica blows. Verbal abuse left, right, and center. just consistently lying to the people. Don't worry, we love you. I love you guys. I love you. You guys are my people. I love you. You know. But when it comes down to actual actions, his action shows otherwise. He loves himself, because who has enriched himself to the point where people are saying that Skerry is not a millionaire now. He's a multi-billionaire. And can we say that it's far-fetched on the understanding that billions of dollars have been left on the understanding from the CBI program, left overseas, and only dregs coming into Dominica? The breadcrumbs. Let's continue.
While the privately owned House of Dark Secrets, built with Dominica's passport money, is complete, and sitting there idle and empty for over a year, public infrastructure projects that it is responsible for, like the Dominica Grammar School, I just what they have shut down. The Sheriff's blessings, yet is still selling fast rocks, and he wants, and for whatever he wants, he brings along. And rather than deal with this dangerous state of affairs in Dominica, one point by the Electoral fraud is ensuring that the multi-billion-dollar fraud against the people continues to go from that course. New election laws in 2025 that do not adequately provide for free and fair elections is an affront to democracy and an undeniable abuse of power that disqualifies carrying the convicted proper person for leadership responsibility in government. So, let's get real tonight. This is crunch time. That's been crunch time for a while.
Finally, let's get into it.
But it has to be crunch time for more than a number of people here tonight. It has to be crunch time for all of us in Dominica serious business. This is the time to confront the tyrannical misleader who believes Dominica is his personal domain in which he can manipulate elections and blatantly violate the will of the people to perpetuate the dictatorial rule. And for all of you here tonight, and for all of our brothers and sisters across Dominica, this is the time to decide where do the people of Dominica stand.
True.
Will you stand for the man who wants to work and control Dominica for the multi-billion-dollar gain of himself and his current friends, or will you stand for Dominica? If you stand for Dominica, what are you willing to do to ensure that we resolve this crisis that just seems to be getting worse and not better?
That is a good question right there. What are the people willing to do to ensure that Dominica has what it truly can accomplish? I think that is vital. We are ticket raffle. Great. Let me get to the other one right here, brothers and sisters.
From media, social media, as well as Q95 that's showing us live tonight. So we are reaching beyond the zone, literally thousands of Dominicans, both here and abroad. So it is indeed an honor for me to be able to speak to you tonight on this.
Guys, definitely bear with the audio. Definitely bear with the audio. It's not on my part, it's on their part right there. I'm trying to manipulate the audio to make it better, but yeah, it's on their part, not on my part.
It's a very critical issue of electoral. Even as I begin to address you tonight, and we'll be hearing from you in a letter, I'm sure you are all aware that we live in a country, currently Dominica, that's been pushed under by the weight of an incompetent, non-caring, and quite frankly, greedy government. And a greedy few, not even greedy government, a greedy few. There are a few individuals who have found a way in this country to become extremely rich, filthy rich, at the extent or at the exclusion of the majority of Dominicans. I spent a great deal of
Somebody
time.
said something there. Somebody said UWP equal. Dominica Vibes is saying UWP equal clowns. They can't even get the song right. Now, when you consider them to be clowns, what exactly are you saying? Are you saying the message is clown? Are you saying the message is funny? Are you saying the message is comedic? That's why I always believe sometimes, brothers and sisters, that when somebody's trying to do something, and I agree with you on the basis that they should fix the audio. That is, come on, that should be done, no doubt about it. But are you saying the message that they're saying is funny? It's comical? Is that what you're saying? Right there, I'd like for you to clarify that for us, right there.
On the roads in various villages across Dominica, and it is extremely, extremely, extremely frustrating and depressing to see what this gem of an island has become under his administration. It's extremely depressing because I talk to mothers, I talk to fathers, I talk to men, I talk to young people who don't even have quite frankly, don't even have a future in this country. I can tell you the number of young people that I meet who are frustrated because all they have is a shot at the MD program. Some of them tell me they have gone to state college, they have learned, they have studied hard, and that is what this country offers them. And this country offers them that when you think that there is just so much this country has, yet it is concentrated in the hands of a few. And I'm saying this tonight to get to the point of electoral reform. Because you will understand, if you have already done so, that the only reason why we are having this issue or this problem of getting electoral reform, the only reason is that there is in this country of ours a group of individuals, a very small group of individuals, who are determined that they are going to maintain their level of wealth, who are convinced that they're going to continue to take from the people of Dominica and nothing will stand in the way.
I understand and I agree with what Thomson is saying right there. A small group of people think that Dominica is theirs. They are the kings of Dominica. And I think Scary them definitely believe that they are kings of Dominica, even to the point where the president is subjected to them. Remember, the president should be the Dominica's president, but instead it seems like we all have that sentiment that the president, the past two presidents, Charles Savary and the one that is there, I forget her name, the Kalinago lady, I forget her name, right? I don't want to say the wrong name, so let me leave that there. She is Skerritt's president. So this means that Skerritt them feel like they're kings and they can do whatever they want. And the people who will rise up, they will either try to buy them out, or they try to do things so that they can get the upper hand, so they can maintain their power. And I think that is crazy right there. So the majority who the majority who should be able to do something, they're not doing anything. It seems like the majority feel like they are defeated. And that's kind of crazy right there. Dominica vibes, okay, you respond, nah, not comedic. I feel like they're very disorganized. I feel like they have to structure. They have no structure. Well, I guess outside looking in, that might be. Because I've been hearing a number of persons who would say, okay, they want Lennox to be this way and they want Thomson to be this way and so forth and so forth. But Thomson has decided to come down to Dominica to ensure that the structure that we will get to see, I guess, in 2025 is more structured. So I'm guessing maybe since he was outside and, persons were doing their thing here and there, Lennox was doing his thing, Ronald Charles was doing his thing, so people were doing their thing. But I'm guessing since the lady came back, he's there to actually do something. So I guess we'll see as time goes by. But on the basis of the audio, I think something should definitely have been done right there.
And that's why this fight becomes important.
But despite the audio, I'm still trying to listen to what he has to say right there, because I think the message is more important than the thing. Dominica Vibes, thank you for that response. Fair enough. Yeah, he's back, so we'll see how things go as time goes by for 2025. Because who else, brothers and sisters? Joshua Francis? That's who you want to run Dominica? Bruh, let's continue.
That's why this struggle becomes important. Because ordinarily, electoral reform is not a big issue. These are issues that have been dealt with in our neighboring countries. The list is not clean. They take a pause, they clean the list, and it is done. In fact, I got a call today from a young man who lived in Antigua. And he told me it's a pity. He was looking for his voter ID card, he could not find it, but he was in Antigua, Dominica. And he said when the Antigans are ready for electoral reform, they simply called the Jamaicans The Jamaican state did a few seminars in the electoral office, and then electoral reforms were done.
But that's the thing, Thomson. Antigua needs electoral reform. They call other people to do it. However, in Dominica, the very skirt himself wanted electoral reform. He called the Byron guy to come and do it, paid him about $750,000. He brought it forth, even though it was a bit late because he called elections. Okay, great. He called it. He brought it. He wasted the people's money. He wasted the people's money. And then when Byron presented his findings for proper electoral reform, he scrapped it. And now Skerritt wants to do, or is doing his own electoral reform through the help of the Attorney General, who obviously the Attorney General is supposed to be neutral. He's not supposed to be on any side, but we know where the Attorney General sides already, as well as the Mr. Speaker of the House. They always, during election time, you clearly see where they were right there. But these guys are clearly bent on pushing the present government's agenda. So this is why I always tell the people, it is the people who has to rise up. When they call for people to come together, I don't want to see 200-300 people, 500 people. Why is that? I'm supposed to see about 20,000-30,000 people on the streets because it's a benefit and a fairness to you.
The new list was done, new registration took place. In a few months, everybody's happy and the country moves on. Yet here in Dominica, they have been screaming and shouting and kicking and fighting over something that really should be simple and straightforward.
Yep.
And we have to ask ourselves, why is it that this Prime Minister, I say this Prime Minister, because
it is, you don't think, Thomson, come on. You know it's the Prime Minister that doesn't want to lose the elections because he feels like he's a king. And therefore he will do whatever it is within his power to prevent the people from truly showing who they want to represent them. He feels it is his, and it is his to protect his legacy. The worst Prime Minister in Dominica, just like Biden was the worst Prime Minister in the United States, they tried to steal elections as well. Thank God that didn't work out. The Skerritt is the same thing. Worst Prime Minister in Dominica. How I know this? Look at the GDP factor for the rest of the Caribbean. All of them is above $1 billion. Even St. Vincent and the Grenadines about 1.2, 1.1 billion GDP factor without any CBI program. GDP, yet still Dominica has CBI program with tourism and all kinds of things. And it is about 600 and something million GDP factor. The last in the Caribbean. That should say something.
they have disregarded the advice of the experts. They have disregarded the recommendations of the Electoral Office. And we have to ask ourselves, why? Just take a little time and think of this question. Why is this Prime Minister so intent on not allowing electoral reform? Or why is he so intent on having his own version of electoral reform?
How is that even possible? How is that even possible, brothers and sisters? If the Prime Minister is the one who has the main monopoly on it to say what goes and what doesn't go, and then tries to push it in Parliament. Why? Because he knows he has the majority. I mean, Dominican people only have to wake up. Or they have to wake up, boy, because it is your future. I remember that man during the trucking protest, and he was saying, and you could hear it and see it. Don't you feel like 20 years of your life, 20 years of your life has just gone down or gone to waste? Scary that waste our lives, we brothers and sisters. You know that? Scary. 20 years. My goodness gracious.
What we currently have on offer before us, the legislation that we have seen, it is very clear. With only one intention, and that is to maintain the cheating legacy of this government. So I want to ask you a question, Dominicans. Are we going to accept this?
Well, they can say no if they want to. Talking is just blase. Do you want to accept it? No, we don't want to accept it. Okay, well, show the actions that you want. Show up in the 20 and 30,000. Show up. No, all you do is showing up. But no, we don't want it. Really? It's still.
Are we going to sit idly by and see
Yes, they're going to sit idly by and wait for other people to do what they know that they should be doing.
the future our children is wasting away?
Bruh.
When I close my eyes at night, I see and I put in my mind the conversations that I've had throughout the day with the young people of this country, with the families, the housewives, the unemployed, the frustrated. And I worry about it. I worry because I think this does not have to be this way.
You're right. It doesn't have to be this way. But the very young people that frustrated, they themselves showing up for CO. I remember seeing a video in Roseau last year, Carnival, and you see the thousands of people on the street jumping up to music on truck. Sometimes that doesn't even make sense. It's just the jump up they come for and they chant and they dare to drink their rum and they good to go and they chipping in the street. But when it comes down to their own liberation, that of which they are frustrated about, they're not showing up, they're quiet. And you frustrating yourself on that. That's why I understood why Thomson, I myself don't know why Thomson come back Dominica. But hey, I think he feels it with himself for him to try to make a change. I think he feels it with himself. Dominica Vibes, you said something. I see you put 2 comments there. I'll read one. Everyone know by now Scared is a thief. Yeah, we know. UW people have to use some different talking points to win elections. I don't think so. People always saying, oh no, is the UWP that is the problem? Is who is the other political parties? Is the opposition that present that is the problem? Is this that is the problem? Is that no? That is not the problem. Like I always say before, brothers and sisters, if you're in a fire, somebody have to come and tell you in a fire before you understand that you're in a fire. Wouldn't you be feeling the pressure? And if you feeling the pressure, you mean to tell me you're just going to just stay in the fire and do nothing? Somebody else have to come and tell you to come out from the fire. Really? It is not the fire that is the problem, you know. It is your actions towards the fire, the frustration that you feel in the country. That is the vital point. It has absolutely nothing to do with the fire. Sometimes you need to get out of the house, go and get a pail, put bucket and start making things happen. Throw water on fire. You cannot just be in a house on fire and say somebody will come and help me. Nonsense. You have to wake up and smell the roses. And the vital point for elections is not about changing the strategy. I don't think so at all. I think it's on people realizing this is what happened in the United States, this is what happened in Argentina, this is what just happened in an African country where they tried to steal elections and the people were stopping them. They were trying. Ghana, I think it's Ghana. That is it right there. Ghana, you guys saw the chaos that was happening during the election in Ghana. And the people said, not so. They stopped the corruption from happening. They were bringing in all sorts of fake ballots and all these kind of things. And the people said, never happened. They stopped it from happening. Why can't Dominica do the same? It's not about changing the different types of ways that people or opposition party do things. It is the people's responsibility that need to happen, change. The actions need to change so that they can actually make betterment for Dominica.
Dominica does not have to be where it is today in terms of the high level of unemployment, in terms of the complete disregard of the agriculture system, in terms of the high charges, high taxes on the Dominican public, water bills going up.
And they increasing it again, we. They increasing. Brothers and sisters, can you imagine a Dominica flowing with water? Free water. Dumb like taking pipe and bringing it back to your house. It's not like they have to say, okay, we bring pipe, we have to then uproot these old pipes and then put new pipes every 2 years. No, they're not doing that. Yet still, you still paying them for bringing the water to your house. And they will say, okay, consumption. I personally believe in consumption. I believe it should be a fixed rate because water is freely flowing. It's not nothing they doing to pump the water from the ground or nothing like that for them to say, okay, let's bring it to your house. None of that. It's flowing on earth. In fact, water coming out from the earth, from the bottom of the earth and coming to the top and creating source. Clean alkaline water right there, and they can bring that to your stuff. There's Roseau. Roseau has a number of them, and they literally put buildings around these things that hey. But anyways, we have water flowing, and then Doasco want to say, okay, let's charge you for consumption. Great. Fine. They charge you for consumption. And on top of that, they want to charge you a fee just because. Just because. And the people saying quiet. Well, I guess that's what you guys want.
Electricity going up. Public servants are stuck in reverse for over 50 years. Prices going up. Dreams destroyed. Futures shattered. All because of a few individuals who want to maintain the level of wealth. So they build one mansion, that's not enough. They build a second mansion. And as they go on deep, and big businesses that they're getting bigger and that destroying, the average Dominican is getting pressed to the ground.
Yep.
And that is why they're fighting for electoral reform.
Mm-hmm.
You see, because in the absence of electoral reform,
Chaos.
this is going to continue. In the absence of electoral reform, this is going to continue. And sometimes we talk about electoral reform, and someone says, but you guys, so many things to talk about. Why do you keep on this electoral reform? Well, here's the reason why we keep on this electoral reform. Because this government, in election time, they will not campaign. They will not go and even promise anything to the Dominican public. Because they know what their formula is.
Yeah.
The formula is, you look at the voters list, the bloated voters list, you realize that 70% of the people in, let's say, Bradford are out of the constituency, yet the name remains on the voters list. You realize that workers is doing reasonably well in this community, so you need probably another 25 people from those 70% outside to win.
Yep.
So you go outside, you charter planes, you bring them in, they vote, and then they leave the next day.
Yep.
So you have nothing to promise the people.
And that does not reflect the will of the people in Dominica. When people from outside who participate in better economies will come down to Dominica and vote to tilt this cane against the will of the people, something needs to be done right there. Dominica vibes, don't make this the Kamala Harris mistake. Well, we're not for Kamala. You might be for Kamala, right? Not for Kamala at all. He also stated all labor rights, no security is good for nothing, and is giving Dominicans the crumbs. Yeah, the fall off his plate. Yeah, the crumbs that fall off his plate. United Workers Party, your messaging and strategy. What? Oh, United Workers Party, change your messaging and strategy, and you will win the people. Like I said before, brothers and sisters, if you're in fire, nobody should come and tell you you're in fire. I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that anybody should come and tell somebody that they're in fire and they need to come out for the fire. And you will stay in the fire burning. And you will not move unless somebody tell you that you need to come out from the fire. Really? Nah, I don't think so. I always believe in the philosophy of Professor Lumumba. He said the people get what they truly deserve. If you stand in the fire and you know it burning your skin and you choose not to leave, I think you should get what you deserve.
No promises made, so no promises kept. No promises made. Agriculture continues to decline. So it doesn't matter how poor people get. It does not matter how desperate the country gets. It does not matter how incompetent and completely out of it this government is. They simply will not do anything to address the problems.
Yep.
Because they know that in the absence of electoral reform, they can continue forever.
Yep. And they don't need to do anything. Look at Grand Bay. Why is Mr. Name again, the ambassador that was doing absolutely nothing as an ambassador for Dominica? Nothing at all. I know this because there were other people in the meetings and he wasn't showing up probably once or maximum twice. This man shows up after the whole situation involving Hurricane Maria. And now he represents Grand Bay. Boy, he's not even from Grand Bay. Can you imagine the audacity to take somebody from St. Joe and put as a representative in Grand Bay and the Grand Bay people vote for him? What he doing? Huh? What Vince doing, brothers and sisters? I heard that Vince started certain things and that's it. He makes sure he started to make you believe that something is happening and then he stop. Brothers and sisters, look at Portsmouth. We have new pal rep. New pal rep, brothers and sisters. New pal rep doesn't change now. But we have new pal rep, Papa. New pal rep coming, same thing. Absolutely nothing is being done in Portsmouth. We had a few lights, some light shows in Portsmouth from time to time. Christmas time come and people had a nice little time, no doubt about it. But when it comes down to the actual elevation of the people, this is why I tell you, Dominicans like CO. So they know Dominicans like CO, so they're giving them the parties. But there's literally no elevation. I remember when on the bridge in Makushri, somewhere there, they were celebrating, they had a bridge opening ceremony on something the government needs to do to make it appear like the government is working. Yes, I.
And I don't know if you guys are getting this, I don't know if the Dominican people understand what's happening to them.
Nope.
I don't know. Sometimes I think about it and I want to really understand what is up here. Why, for example, would you talk about electoral reform? On the voters list, that is 74,380,000 persons, when you have a population of just about 70,000. Why is it so difficult to take that voters list, throw it in the sea and say, you're done, we're not even looking at you? Why it is that if you propose legislation, the government is saying, we will start with this whole voters list. We will start with it, and you will come and reconfirm that you are who is on this list. But bear in mind, on this list, Jason Brown was already voting for Jack Henry in Lennox. Right? So now Jason Brown represents himself as Jack Henry, and Jason Brown gets a voter ID carrying the name of Jack Henry. Right? Because Jason Brown, his only role is to ensure that his government stays there, and in return he walks away with his $500. But who sells out the country for $500? I mean, who sells out the country? And I'm something I get the impression that
Gasa, I know exactly what Thomson FOntaine talking about. When I see people passing around giving people $300 and $500 for their vote that can literally change their lives, when man can want to bring $300 and $400 for you. I remember back in the day when I was doing videography, brothers and sisters, people used to pay me $150, $200. If I do a wedding, I might get probably $400. You think you pay me that now? Aye. But you saw people are so accustomed with that. They constant, and it getting worse, but it getting worse. It getting worse to the point where people want to literally ask or sell their vote for a bag of cement. They want to sell their vote for a window pane. Imagine the state that human mind in Dominica has come, where you want to sell your vote for a window pane.
Dominicans don't understand, or sometimes in the diaspora, we're not understanding what's going on. So people accuse us of saying, well, you don't want the diasporans to vote. I don't even think the diasporans want to vote. You see, we had an election in 2022. How many diasporans came to vote? If it was about voting, they would have come in 2022. Why did they not show up in 2022? If it is so important, you need to exercise that franchise, you need to vote. Why did you not come and vote in 2022 when there was an election? So it's not about, it's not about they need to vote. It is about.
They know they're not getting free tickets to come to Dominica and actually vote. They're getting paid to come and vote. I remember the last time in 2019, how much people was in the airport saying we're getting free flights to Dominica. I remember it. There were people videotaping the amount of Dominicans that were waiting for free flights to come to Dominica for them to vote. I remember they were stuck. They had to pay their money back. Those who could pay, they had to pay their money to go back. Remember? Oh, okay. All you don't remember? Well, I remember we.
All that $500 is about a plane ticket. That's what it's about. And in going after that, they fail to understand the bigger picture. That when they do that, when these actions are taken, at the back of it is the misery, the pain, the suffering, the incompetence, the lack of governance, the uncaring nature of this government. That is the result of the actions.
True.
And so, we have a problem, a big one, with what is being proposed in this legislation. And let's begin with the voters list. The current legislation that's being proposed is asking for a reconfirmation. So the plan of this government is we start with the list, voting list. We then ask for reconfirmation. So we reconfirm everybody on this list of whoever is alive, they're reconfirmed. But wait a minute, they don't stop there. They say if during that process we should take 12 to 15 months, if within that time period an election is called, then we go back to the same list.
Oh,
Is that something like that reform?
nah, that doesn't make any sense to me at all. So if in a country you have 50,000 people, and the elections list is 150,000 people, you are saying use that same list, let's reconfirm individuals to reconfirm 150 people, which doesn't make sense to me. You're saying reconfirm, and then if within that time there is an election, you're going to go back to the same 150 people on the list? Make that make sense for me, please, somebody. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. I see there's 35 of you guys in the building right now. 37 of you guys in the building right now. Click the thumbs up button for me, guys. Please click the thumbs up button for me, please, right there. Mangu, what is that? Mangu Kalanji, big up yourself. It's a monarchy. King Skerry the first, yeah. And then, like he stated before, he make it seem like it's a joke. He says he's gonna wait for his son to grow up and then pass it on to him. Brothers and sisters, don't be shocked if that happen, you know. Don't be shocked. And it is the people allowing that to happen to themselves. Don't you feel like 20 years of your life has gone down the drain, Dominican? Don't you feel? Don't you feel, boy? Bruh, let me continue. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that. Right there, guys.
That's what I'm saying, that this list should not be the picture. This government should be able to tell the Dominican public, we have a 5-year mandate. We're going to take 3 months of those 5 years, and we're going to clean this list by having purely a re-registration. What takes 3 months?
Yeah.
Within 3 to 6 months, we don't have to call elections, but within those 3 to 6 months, we will go for a re-registration that will allow us to have a clean list. So all of our dear friends in diaspora who qualify will find themselves on this list and they can keep voting. So it's not about keeping anybody out. It is about ensuring that we get our country back.
But I think the diasporans should have their own constituency. I think Dominica constituency, all 21 constituencies should cut short to about 11. And then you have 2 outside constituencies making up 13 constituencies with overseas representation. I think that's how it should be. The reason why we're saying about overseas representation, because during the election times, they have overseas representation in Texas. They have them in New York. Yes. Gathering people so they can take their names to send them tickets to fly to Dominica. I met some of them who tell me they're not in that again, Mr. Hicks. We're not in that again. I was part of those people signing up names to send down so they can send tickets. I met them. It's not making up story. And then people checking, they cannot do that again. Dominica has fallen. So they came down Dominica and see how absolutely terrible Dominica has come. Just yesterday, one of the people I grew up with, he was much older than me. One of the people I grew up with called me, say, Mr. Lix, he saw a video and we were talking about that video and saying, boy, I went to Dominica the other day and I couldn't believe my eyes. He said he couldn't believe his eyes. That is what Dominica come to. And Dominicans in Dominica waiting for somebody to tell them that they need to come out from the fire. Really? Okay. Wait still.
You have lost Dominica. You have lost our country. And you have a Prime Minister, by the way, who feels that somehow this country belongs to him.
Yep.
So a few years ago, there was talk of leaving in 2025.
Yep.
No,
he said that multiple times. Skerrit said that multiple times. He's going to be leaving. He's going to be leaving. And every time he says leaving, he doesn't leave. He comes back. I think it was Curtis or Matt that asked him that question before he was reconfirmed again. He says he wants to leave. Then he comes back and say if the people want him. You cannot say if I cannot be telling you I want to leave. It's like the boy who cried wolf, 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 until the wolf finally came. You saying you want to leave over and over and over, and every time You coming back to finally have the delegates conference. Boom. You come back in. You want to run again. Not true. But the question is, can he actually leave? That is the question I think we need to ask ourselves right there. Why he keeps coming back like this. Dominican Vibes, I think I missed one of your comments. Oleran go for nothing. Okay. You can change all power reps. The power reps are not the problem. The problem is the dictator. That's facts. All power reps' hands are tied behind their backs. Security is literally calling all the shots. I agree. Security is calling all the shots. And the power reps are also the problem. You know why? Because the power reps can decide we have no, or there's something called no contest. Is it no contest? Or no faith? If a number of the power reps say we have no, what is the word I'm looking for? They have no competence. Not no competence, no. Or they believe that they have no faith in Skerrit's leadership. So I think if 2 or 3 of them say they have no faith in Skerrit's leadership, that will cause the Prime Minister to change. But they are not doing that. So the power reps also have blame to take. So yes, I understand you might change up all the power reps like they try to do the reset. They try to do that and the same thing come back. People asking, what is the reset? They take up Blackmore from a power rep and they still put him back for national security. Worst national security minister ever. Why we know this? All the situation that has happened with Dominica. Right now we have this situation that is dealing with that man who allegedly murdered people in Soufriere. And now he wants to pretend, he's thinking that. All that is smoke screen. He himself was part of the whole situation involving Choxy. True or false? I could be wrong. You can let me know if I'm wrong, you know. Brothers and sisters, no confidence. Thank you very much, Peter Glass. No confidence. They can have a no confidence vote in Skerrit. So if 2 or 3 of them say they have no confidence in Skerrit, then Skerrit goes. They have to do another election process and things, so they can also cause Skerrit to go. But this is why Skerrit knows this. So what did he do? He increased their salaries. Interesting how things goes, brothers and sisters. Very, very interesting right there. Just now, Dominica Vibes is saying, just now, I'm about to see the names of those people that was collecting names. Well, I know some of them. I won't call their names. You know, that's one of the things with me. People trust me to the point for them to tell me the information, and I will not sell them out. Some of them probably even watching today.
We have so-called 5 more years to wonder what's going on. All across the world, prime ministers and presidents are stepping aside and saying enough is enough. Or want to say no, even if at the promises of David, it is not enough. And you have to wonder why. If you're still not sure, I would invite you to take a drive to Montanel tomorrow morning. Take a drive up to Montanel and you'll understand.
You're talking about the building. Skerrit right now is building a mansion far bigger than the previous mansions that he stayed in. Keep in mind, before Skerrit stayed in any mansions, Skerrit say, he tell the people, I don't need to stay in any mansions. What am I staying in mansions for? Today, the man building his third or second, allegedly, no, he's building his second mansion. The third, the one he's presently staying in, it's alleged that it is MMCE that gave it to him as a gift for giving them so much money. Can you imagine all the monies that MMCE received under Skerrit getting different projects? Millions upon millions upon millions of dollars in projects that could have come to the Dominican people. A foreign man gets all that and Dominicans quiet. Bruh.
How did we get there? How did we get to a place where we have individuals who are supporting this? It is one thing for a prime minister or few to behave in a certain manner. It's another thing for Dominicans
the people,
in the right mind to support this.
Exactly.
So what do we want? Well,
and I asked Thomson that question, Thomson was on my podcast last year. And I asked Thomson, well, what do you do when the people themselves, we know it is the people who need to make the change. The people need to gather and make the change and tell Skerrit enough is enough. But what do you do when the very people who might have felt defeated, who feel like they are scared. How do you get the people to do this, brothers and sisters? And everything boils back to the people finally making up their mind, just like all the other countries, Ghana, Argentina, United States, all the other countries have done, to finally find some sort of liberation from the wicked people who keeping them down. Bruh. Dominica have it, we. Dominica has it, we, boy. Oh my God, I never see a country, a island that have so much potential like Dominica like that. And it is the last kakarot. No, man. Nah, man. People wicked.
This electoral reform is not about the people of Dominica. It's not about safeguarding our democracy. It is not about correcting the things that the most brilliant justices in this part of the world says exist in Dominica. It's not about the many reports written by the electoral missions that have come to Dominica election after election, saying the same thing election after election. The elections are not free, they're not fair, that these things need to be corrected. It's nothing about that. It's about maintaining in office a few individuals. It's not even so much about government. You look at government today, you look at the people who run those offices and you wonder. Persons with no experience, persons who don't know whether they are going up or coming down. And I'm not even saying that to put anybody down, but I'm saying that if you're going to have a government, you need to have people in place who understand what they are doing. You need to have people in place who understand what the policy means. You need to have people in place who can look at for example, the court charges and say, well, the people of Dominica are really strong in those court charges. What can you do to alleviate? What can we do to ease the pressure of the people?
But Thomson, I understand what you're saying, Thomson. It's a necessity that Dominica port charges decrease, especially when it comes down to doing business in Dominica. Why we always saying, why this product? Brothers and sisters, I will never forget, I have one of the equipments that used to start vehicles. I have it. That was less than $100 US. And I see that thing for $700 and something, $700 or $800 and something in a particular business. The same thing. But obviously you have port charges to pay and you have your profit to make. So even if port charges, you might have to pay the same thing again. So let's say it's $100. It is about what, $260 if you have to buy it in Dominica. You have to double that. 260 is what, 540, 512, 520, $520 port charges, and then you have to get your profit on it. You say your profit, you want your profit to be $200 because you have workers to pay, you have all these things to pay from that $200. So when the customer buys it, then you can give a percentage here and there while also maintaining a level of profit. And you have your light bill to pay, all these things. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how else to say it. I saw a solar fan, not a solar fan, an ice fan. And the reason why the ice, brothers and sisters, all you have to do is put ice in the fan. Ice. I remember looking at it and I saying, boy, Dominica can be hot. Let me see if I can bring that down. You know, bring that down. So when it's hot, I put my ice in that and whoop, whoop. No AC needed. Okay. Gasa, I see they selling that. I'll call it. No, I don't call it. In a particular business close to a particular police station headquarters. I saw that same thing for over $500. Something that cost about 30 something US dollars. 500, bro.
What kind of policy can we put in place as a government? Today I went to my village because there was when I heard of the unfortunate plane crash in the southeast of this country. So I went there today to witness some of the rescue efforts that were underway. And it's just amazing.
I sure it's the incompetence of Dominica and talk about. because I'm not even there. And from what I see, it's clear that Matnik was much more prepared to handle the terrain than the very Dominican people, the Dominican authorities. The Dominican authorities who go in and say they training in bush. Bruh.
See, I decided to stop because I was going up the hill so I could take a good look at where the plane went into the mountain, and I saw the condition of the playing field. And that's the playing field that, as a young boy, I basically like the cricket. We used to have to go into schools, Grand Popin, Smart John, and so on. And we have the villagers, the parents, they're screaming and shouting for their children and so on. Great fun on this field. Yet, today, it is the home of abandoned vehicles, and bush and winds, and the children are moving free.
The very government that stated that they care about the youth. And then come on radio and saying we had too much fat people. He didn't say it in that, I paraphrasing. He's stating that there are too much fat people in Dominica, and Dominica needs to do certain things, exercise and so forth and so forth. Yet the very thing that can keep people active, they are not doing what needs to be done to ensure that the park is cleared so that people can come and take a sweat. They're not showing that they set up certain facilities so that people can come and take a sweat. I remember in Portsmouth, almost every time in the Glanville Park and this kind of things, they're going out with my father to go and play sports. We either play hoop, we playing cricket, whatever it is. In the Mang, sometimes you used to have church activities. That is happening again. Church activities, they used to take you up, go in the Mang. You playing against each other. Who playing wrong? What do you call that? Wrongdoers and all those kind of things there. When last you see that now, brothers and sisters? When? You might see that in certain pockets here and there. But that used to be all over the island. And we're talking about helping people. It's just talking, it's blatchy. The people talking, blah, blah, blah. The government talking, blah, blah, blah. And the government knows this. This is why they're talking and making sure that what you hear is something nice. Yes, it's all about what is nice to say.
And this is the kind of government we are supporting, This is the kind of government that has traded back on the young people of this country.
Of course.
The government has said the best that we can offer you, young people, after 10, 15 years of study, is you can put a weed cutter in your hand and take you to the roadside to cut the grass. This is that. This is that. Imagine that happened during my time, growing up as a kid. I would want to simply cutting grass by the roadside. We have to get serious now.
Of course. I see somebody say, Dominica Vice, Miss Licks, I never see you in Park Gasa. Lester used to be there playing cricket with your father. You talking about them playing, doing like competitions. Yes, my brother and my father used to do competitions. I was part of the athletic. I used to do inter-schools, I used to do inter-schools in Grand Bay with the inter-schools in Portsmouth as well. Athletics was my thing. So, yes. But anyways, let me see. The diaspora, Mango is saying the diaspora is finally seeing scared failure of the people with more promises and bribes. But the thing is, I don't think the diaspora cares anymore because they realize that Dominica is a failed state. So what they tend to do, you can literally see it. When there's SIWO, they know Dominica for SIWO. When there's SIWO, they come to Dominica, and after SIWO finish, they leave until the next SIWO happen. Carnival season coming up, you're going to see a set of diasporas in Dominica. I even know one that is there already. She was part of Senjo Carnival, which happened today or yesterday, whichever it happened, whenever it happened. She there. She's a flight attendant. She there. She probably watching this video all now. She there. Enjoying the thing, and she knows after the carnival season, she heading back out so she can make real money. By the way, I find out how much are you making, flight attendants. Big up to all my flight attendants right there. Big up all yourself one time. So yeah, they leave Dominica until the next SIWO happens or the next fete happens. You think they come in Dominica during summertime? Huh? You think they come in Dominica during summertime? Bruh.
We need to act like we are concerned about what is going on in this country. We need to act like we care about this country. We need to be singing together, Pa quitte point Dominique or no.
What does Pakite, whatever, what does that mean?
About this country. We need to be singing together, Pa quitte point Dominique or no.
Cathal Burnett, big up yourself, watching for the United Kingdom right there. I was supposed to be in the United Kingdom, you know, guys. I was supposed to be in the United Kingdom, but I wanted to fly to United Kingdom from Canada. However, there was something that happened that I could not do it right there. Man, that's crazy. I would have come for like a week and then head back and then, you know, but that's a whole other story right there. And I can fly to United Kingdom without visa, okay? Oh, all right. I just putting that out there. Let me see. Let me see. Me. Oh, me locked in. Me, where are you watching from? That's an interesting name right there. You said you locked in. I appreciate you locked in, guys. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button right there. Click that thumbs up button, guys. I would appreciate that 150% right there. How many of you guys are in the building? Let me see. There's 50 of you guys in the building right now. I only have 15 likes, guys. Come on, we can do that vibrations right there. Just click the thumbs up. That's so simple, so simple, man. Just click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that right there. Of course, me is also saying, so why the diaspora coming back during election to affect our lives? Because some of the diasporas, they get free tickets. They get free ticket to fly to Dominica. They come down, they vote, they might see their family member, or they might bring down certain things for their family members, and they go back or they come out. It's a free ticket to come to Dominica, so they tend to do that right there. Some of them wicked too, you know. They don't want to see Dominica doing better than them. Some of them struggle in the United States, you know, even with all the opportunities. Some of them lazy. Some of them lazy, and they get the opportunity for them to get a free ticket to Dominica. They come and vote. Sometimes these people get paid to come and vote. I know sometimes they're getting paid, because I remember one of my people's father got paid to come to vote in Dominica. I know. So don't come on. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why they tend to come, or some of the reasons why they tend to come to Dominica to vote. Don't let them take Dominica from us. Translation, I'm in Dominica. All right, well, big up the Dominica Massive from Roseau on Independence Street right there. Big up yourself one time. Lean hand. What I want in electoral reform is simple. What is that? Proportional representation. I think proportional representation is vital, but you just need proportional representation. You need effective proportional representation. Because if these people are not doing the work, they should come out there. And if the people who want betterment for their communities want better representation, they will not be watching ministers that do absolutely nothing for them and running for a next election to vote the same set of people, hoping that they will finally make a difference. That's stupid. Call a spade, brothers and sisters. That is absolutely ridiculous right there. Okay? So, yeah.
So let's go on to go to 6. We are saying that we do not want a reconfirmation, that it must be a complete re-registration.
Yep. No reconfirmation, throw that list. And then have people coming within 3 months, 3 to 6 months like it stated before. Have them come to register again. Show vital documentation that you are able to vote in Dominica. Now keep in mind, it's not just Dominicans alone that can vote, you know. CARICOM can also vote in Dominica. You know that, right? People have been in Dominica for, I think, a year and paying taxes and this kind of things. They can also vote as well. I know people who have voted in Dominica who are not from Dominica.
With regards to the voter ID cards, we have a half measure. They said, okay, we'll give the voter ID card. That's what you want to take it. They say, no, we need.
But they don't want to do biometrics. So they're accepting what they say, you know. They're accepting. They say, oh, you want for us to do the voters list? You want for us to do it and do it? No. We will go over the voters list because that's what you want. We want a reconfirmation of it. So they're agreeing with the points, you know, but they want to do it in their way and not the way that will create free and fair elections. So scary them will want a reconfirmation of the voters list. What should actually be done for free and fair elections is a redoing of the voters list, a complete redo over of the voters list, re-registration of that list. Also, he mentioned on the basis of this right there, voter ID cards.
Reconfirmation that it must be a complete re-registration. With regard to the voter ID cards,
Voter ID cards.
said, okay, we'll give the voter ID cards.
So they're giving them the voter. Oh, you want voter ID cards? No problem. But they want to take out things like biometrics and all those kind of things that will pretty much be cemented on voter ID cards to prevent you from voting other places. They want to give you voter ID cards, but they don't want your biometrics and these kind of things. Like I always stated before, guys, I am not for biometrics, but I understand why it is necessary. It is especially for Dominica. It is necessary. Bruh.
They say, no, we need the biometrics on it. We need to be sure, like they do in Antigua, put the fingerprints on the back of the paper. Let's get the fingerprints there. That's not difficult to do.
So Antigua is doing it. Why can't Dominica not do it? Why? I think Gaston Brown them try to to bubble the system, but the Antiguan people were like, no, and it almost flipped. It almost flipped.
It's easy. Number 2, election campaign finance. The legislation is extremely silent when it comes to election.
You know why? Because they do not want people to know where they're getting their money from. In the United States, you have to, Kamala them raised $1.4 billion and every single money was accounted for, where it came from. This is why they could trace back to certain houses and realize that some things are happening on the merit of not understanding how I contributed and I did not contribute. That didn't make sense any way, shape, or form. So you can always trace back these funds. We believe the same thing should happen to Dominica when Scared want to see it is not people damn business where they getting money from. That to me is crazy right there. Anyways, guys, let's continue.
Campaign. It's silent. Why? Because the government knows that they already set aside X million. We saw the deal in 2009 election. I was late. $9.4 million to bring in chartered planes to Dominica. It was 9.4 in 2009. It's probably about 15, 20 million right now to bring those same planes up there. We'll have to bring twice as many planes because on the ground the support is eroding like quickly. You know, if you've been on the ground, you'll understand that the support is eroding. So now the calculations is a bit more complicated, I suspect.
Yeah.
The calculations now is about, well, if we were bringing in 5 planes this time, it has to be probably 20 planes. So, you know, it multiplies very quickly. So there is no mention of electoral reform or the election campaign finance. And that's important.
I think how campaign finance should be, for example, I think based off thing, maybe everybody should get what, $2 million, because we don't want all the monies to be going to elections. That doesn't make any sense to me. You're saying, from our understanding, Scary them spent a good amount of millions. I think one was $33 million, the other one was 60 something million, and I think one over exceeded over $100 million for election campaigns. Brothers and sisters, are you crazy? These monies that could actually be going towards the Dominican people, on people coming and say they want to do campaign, to do things for the Dominican people, to take it and doing campaign. The monies that should be going to the Dominican people doesn't make any sense to me. So therefore I think, okay, you have $2 million or whatever the accounting part for it, maybe 2.5, $3 million for campaign. You get 3 million, that party get 3 million, that party get $3 million. Great. Whoever is there on the merit of, you know, actually having representation for 21 seats, they will get 3 million, you get 3 million. Okay, great. Because it doesn't make sense if you have another party. Let's say you have red, green, and blue. Red have 21 candidates, blue have 21 candidates, and they're running through that. Green do have 21 candidates and they're still getting $3 million. That make no sense to me. Make no sense to me. So it should probably be proportional based on the 21 seats. But hopefully that the seats, they join some of the constituencies and we are able to make 11 constituencies ready. I think that is vital. But of course, when you're doing this, guys, obviously you're going to share the thing properly. Right? Person gets 3, that person gets 3. Everybody have 21. If red, blue, and blue have 21 candidates, you get your 3 million to run your campaigns. Great. Now, if you were to raise more monies, then all these monies that was to be raised should be accounted for. Because you do not want any sort of people putting monies into things that can then tilt the scale for you. Instead of doing the will of the people, you instead doing the will of certain people outside of Dominica. All monies should be accounted for right there. I think it makes sense, not true?
A little playing field. In countries like Barbados, where they promote the democracy, you have a limit on the amount that can be spent by a political party to constituent. I think it's $10 per constituent. That makes it nice and easy and decent.
Yeah, that makes sense. Per constituent representative. Yeah, definitely. Let me see what some of you guys have to say right there. Yeah, if people want to depend on free. So Dominica Vibes is saying if people have to depend on free ticket to go to Dominica, well, things are really bad. It's not just that, no. Some things are so bad for people that they cannot even take ticket for themselves to go Dominica. Yes. Some people go with the Dominican mentality overseas. Yes. They go with the Dominican mentality of the laissez-faire kind of relaxed, chill attitude. And they bring it in countries that require you to work and work and work hard. You think it's just coming like that? Some of them get the opportunity for them to go. And they just squander it. And as a result of squandering it, they are not able to even buy a ticket back to come to Dominica. So therefore, they get the ability for them to get tickets during election time for them to come down Dominica. It are people that haven't been back to Dominica for 30, 40, 50 years. I remember a man telling me he hasn't been back Dominica for 47 years until he started watching my videos, checking about Dominica have a little vibes on the basis of World Queer Music Festival. That's why he started watching my videos, the Mr. X vlogs. And you see me go in different places here and there. That is the only time the boy decided to come back Dominica. The boy taking Dominica, he be serious coming back. 47 years. I know a man that has been back Dominica for 33 years. So obviously when they get these free tickets, they will definitely come and spend a week and go back. Or spend a few days, 2 days, 3 days and go back where they come from. See the family, say, hey, how you doing? Bring them milk and then go back.
It makes it, at the end of the day, who is best suited to run the country. And let's face it. And let's talk. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Be honest, man.
If, as this government claims it is so popular, is the best thing that has happened to Dominica ever. The best government, the best roads, the best airports, the best state-of-the-art hospital, the best schools, the best. But if you've done the best, why is it so difficult for you to go to the people when you offered the best and say, elect me?
Because they're lying to the people. They're lying to the people. They come and say we are the best hospitals, yet still Dominicans still have to fly out to get simple medical attention. The very Prime Minister himself knows. He says that Dominica has the best hospital that can be compared to first world nations. He himself knows he will never go to that very hospital. He'll go overseas, fly overseas. I will never forget the former Minister of Health. His wife was sick or is sick. I don't know what happened. Only to find out that it's alleged that she was where? In the United States seeking medical attention. the Minister of Health, right? They can do that for themselves and then claim that Dominica has the great, we high fool. Let me continue.
Why not have the level playing field that says I can stand on my record, I can stand on my performance? And the people of Dominica, they're honest people. They're honest people.
You saying they're honest? I think those that honest stay quiet, and those that wicked, they vocal. So yes, there might be quite a number of honest people in Dominica, but to be honest is also requiring actions. And some of these people don't care anymore. They're looking to see how they can leave Dominica. And I definitely am an advocate for people to leave Dominica right now. Dominica not going to elevate anytime soon. I believe Thomson can definitely do something. No doubt about it. But he was also in South Sudan, doing his thing and elevating South Sudan's GDP. He was doing it. But if you needed 20% GDP and you only going at 0.5% because of elevation standing, yes, you're elevating, but you have to take so long to reach back to 20% growing at 0.5%. That is the key here. So although we're going down, brothers and sisters, and if Thomson then come in, it might level out and start growing. But how fast will it grow to reach back to where it once was? To finally have, and to reach back where it was, and then to grow again, to compete with the rest of the Caribbean islands. But I do think so Dominica has a trump card on the basis of what Dominica possesses. There's some sort of thing, if you utilize it the right way, we can jump, start, and go very fast, true. But you need the right set of competent minds to do these things. And I think the United Workers' Party has a number of competent minds. But how far has Dominica fallen for it to truly elevate again? Let me read what some of you guys are saying right there. Me saying don't let them take Dominica from us is the translation to Creole. Oh, okay, I get you. Thanks for that. Don't let Dominica take them from us. Dominica vibes. Somebody in the diaspora needs to send them down some Beijing for Thomson to fix that bald head, because our future PM can't represent us looking like wood ants eating his hair. You talk stupidness. Anyways, where was I? Yes, there's monies need to be accounted for. Yeah, money definitely needs to be accounted for. Because where the monies come from will affect the lives of the people in the long run. Yeah. All the money is going towards a campaign that can actually be used to help people. Doesn't make any sense to me. Best we have no campaigns. Best we forget campaigns and just put money to help Dominica. Simple. Want to be spending hundreds of millions of dollars for campaign just so you can win elections? That's me, who knows what deal they're cutting in the country's name for those campaign monies. Yeah. They might be selling out themselves, just like Scared bringing down vehicle and say his friend give him vehicle. I personally believe his friends give Scared no vehicle. I think Scared used CBI monies to buy vehicle and then pass it on that friend, saying friend give him vehicle. But furthermore, how foreign friend giving you vehicle just like that? Let's say what Scared is saying is true. How on earth foreign friends are giving you vehicle to drive vehicle in Dominica and they don't want nothing in return? They don't want nothing? Huh? That making sense to you? That is a compromising of the government. The government has been compromised. Dominica Vibe, remember Melissa went to the US to make her children? Yeah. That speaks volumes. There is no future for Dominica. Yeah. I personally always say with myself, Melissa is Canadian. Doesn't she have a Canadian passport? She Canadian. Scared say he throw his or what is it? Why the words doesn't come to my mind now? His French passport. What do you do now? What is going on? Scary City that he's okay, he's no longer French then. I can't remember the right word, bro. That's crazy. So he disemboweled us, some kind of word, bro. He's not a French passport holder anymore. Denounce, yes. Denounce. He denounced his French passport. Yes, so he did that. He say we have no evidence of that, so he might still be French. And in turn, also made his children, as the sitting prime minister, make his children born in the United States. The first one was not that fortunate, but the rest of them born in the United States. The sitting prime minister wants to do better for the country, does not want his children to benefit from the betterment that he wants for Dominica. He wants them to take advantage of a already better country. Interesting. Very, very interesting right there, guys. We're just going to go for like a few more minutes and then we're going to end this.
And I guarantee you, they will, with a level playing field, if you have performed, we'll give that to you. But why do you want to ensure that the chicks and so no election campaign finance? So we have to keep pushing for this. The election offenses of bribery and treason. Again, the legislation is silent on this. The framework of our constitution is in the constitution. It was there in the constitution, it's there in the electoral laws. They understood that the election process is so critical that it cannot and should not be taken. And the easiest way to take an election is to bribe persons, to bribe individuals. I remember when I was campaigning in 2014, I went to a dear old lady's home and started talking to her and asking for a vote. She confessed that she likes me a lot, she likes the party, the United Lucas Party, but she kept really good for us this time. So I asked why. They said, why can't you vote? She says, well, they gave me $500, and I had to vote against them because it was $500. And Matthew, please come and understand that, I mean, that is $500. There's one of us specializing for $20. So they understand this idea of the Dominican Republic.
Yep.
All right? So it's easy to bribe. And your bribe pays big time. In finance, we say pay dividends. It works. You bribe and therefore you get a direct reward. So the legislation that's going forward is silent on this. And we are saying that there must be in this legislation allowance that makes bribing and cheating and treating a criminal offense.
Yep.
We saw it in St. Martin just a month ago. A young man has gone to jail for trying to bribe someone to vote. This is serious. This is a serious crime. This is a very serious crime.
That has been going on rampant in Dominica so much. It's a culture. It has happened so much in Dominica. Bribery and treating literally in your face. Against election laws. And it is still happening today. But that is something else, boy.
And this serious crime is taking place in Dominica, and we just not looking at it, we just not taking it on. So we need to do better than that, Dominica. We absolutely have to do better than this. And access to the media. I'm happy to see that in media tonight we have DPSU Tusker is welcome to the radio. It's good to be there. We will hoping to be live on DPS radio. We requested, we wrote to DPS to be live, and that was still down, so we are only on the record.
So Curtis is there, representing DBS Radio. They were hoping to be live on DBS. Curtis is there. But it is not live on DBS. One of the stipulations that they actually have in the electoral reform process is that all opposition people should be able to have free access to use, not free access. If you have your money to pay your money so you can use it. And if you do not, or if you are turned down, then there should be consequences for that. Scary them agree, yeah, sure, yeah, you can use the media. Great, all right, great. But you know what they left out? The consequences part. Which means the same set of situation might end up happening where they promise you, yes, you can use it. But if they tell you no, or if they don't answer you, then there will be no consequences. And I think that is not fair at all. However, Kurt is there, I guess, to ask questions.
Yeah, so Curtis is there, so we get something on the news tomorrow morning. Hopefully. But access to the media is something that again goes.
And Curtis is manager. Isn't Curtis manager of DBS? I heard the partner in the background saying that. Isn't Curtis manager of DBS? Dominica Vibes is saying people too foolish to see Skerrit showing his true face. Best to deport Skerrit, his wife and his American kids. They all overstayed. They're welcome. Well, they pimping Dominica. I mean, Marquis saw Skerrit coming from absolute poverty. Skerrit was the definition of poverty back in the day. Today he's alleged to be a billionaire. Where you think he get that? Where you think he get that status, brothers and sisters? Okay, if you don't know where you get it, well, we don't know. All right. Ando John, big up yourself one time. First time I'm seeing that name. Ando John, of course, welcome to this year Vibrations. Ando John is saying, no matter what Mr. Linton do, Skerrit will still win because it is the people that has been manipulated and blind by Skerrit. No, I don't think so. Just like Professor Lumumba stated, and I like the African individuals when they come up with these powerful sayings. The people get what they truly deserve. It's not just Skerrit them, you know. The people them created the atmosphere for Skerrit them to do what they're doing today. And those who, the majority, I believe it is, who know better, are silent. Because they maybe have a nice job here and there. They're fearful of losing their job. Their children might be overseas in college. You know, the struggle for Skerrit to pay school fees. You know, so that they're hoping that they don't say anything to rupture anything or cause them to lose that benefit. They might be staying in housings. Obviously, you know, Skerrit want to build more housing for Dominicans to be more manipulated because they are fearful of being thrown out of these houses. Not true. I think that has a vital part right there.
To the heart of our democracy. It is just not a level playing field when the government, by virtue of being able to use taxpayers' money, because the sample that media are paying from taxpayer dollars, that only the government gets the benefit that our voices are not heard on the radio. So in the legislation, they have not agreed that we will have access to DBS radio.
Yeah.
That's great, we welcome that. But what about the other media in Dominica? Every single media house in Dominica should be made to cover the campaigns of the opposition.
And they are either being paid by the government to not show up, or they are threatened. Because it's not just the government, you know, brothers and sisters. There are businesses that also support the government. That thought just came to mind. There are businesses that support the government. I will not do business with you because you are against the government. So you will not be able to advertise their products and this kind of things there. True or false? Makes sense?
If you're not covering one, you'll cover any. But don't cover only the ruling government and ignore the opposition.
Exactly.
You, the media, you will not do it right by the people of Dominica. And so if you cannot do right, the legislation should force you to do right.
Facts.
And therefore there should be penalties.
Exactly. Penalties are needed.
For those who do not allow access to the media, there should be penalties for radio stations that do not allow us to go live. So for example, we reached out to Kyrie again and we will turn down tonight. On a critical
So Kyrie turned down. Boy.
matter of electoral reform. When the government is having its call on electoral reform, they're all there.
Yep.
So why is it that we cannot get the same treatment as the government?
Facts. Facts.
Why? So when people are fed on a diet of lies and a diet of half-truths and so...
And the whole system. It's not just pieces here and there, it's the whole system. Dominica Vibes, I appreciate you for definitely being pretty much driving the conversation in the live chat, no doubt about it. You indicated to us that DBS is compromised. We need independent media. This is why people like me are relevant. Because we want to ask people the right set of questions. I know a number of persons saying, why don't you get this person to come or that person to come? You think these people are going to come on the podcast and have a conversation with me, bruh? And it's not to say I'm probably lambasting you. If you are a person who is mainly on track, right? You are mainly on track to do, you say you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And you want betterment. And you're a person who have substance and you know who you're about. Why should you be fearful to come and talk to me? I'm not a person that's going to be tilly-tallying and dilly-dallying with you, know. I'm going to ask you the questions that people actually thinking or want to know the answer to. That's what I want to know. But hopefully in 2025, brothers and sisters, we can make this happen right there. Hopefully people get the balls or the what they call it, scrutum, to finally come and talk to me on my podcast. It's not fight I can fight you. I don't have horns. I might have long hair, but I don't have horns. You see me? Dominica Vibes, you saying again, speaking about businesses that do business with the government, Security is owing Rudolph Thomas millions and now they're struggling to stay afloat. They're free to talk. Well, I don't know if that is the case, allegedly. I have to point this out right there. If that is the case, I've heard this as well. You're not the first person to say this, but I've heard this as well. I also heard it's alleged that the government gave them land where the airport, the United Workers' Party had the airport, where United Workers' Party is situated for the airport. They gave them lands in that areas. I don't know if that is true. It could be false. It could be true. Who knows? But if that is the case, and they refuse to talk, whose fault is it? If you want to take bribes from the government, I heard that they're giving all sorts of things and building materials for this person and that person, this person, that person, so they can get the vote, and you're not getting your money. Whose fault is it? Whose fault? Anyways, guys, I reacted to about an hour of the actual video. The video is actually 2 hours long. I will post this video in the description below so you guys can definitely check it out on the longer run if you want to check it out right there. Obviously, Thomson has more points that he wants to make, but I'm definitely not passing the 2-hour mark. Most likely, I will try to bring Thomson back for another podcast vibrations. Obviously, we have some new updates in this regard. What has transpired or what has changed from the first podcast to. So there's always updates that can happen in that regard. So I'll be looking forward to do something like that. He, of course, will be in Dominica more. I think he's going to be in Dominica for the continuation of things. So obviously we're going to get that grassroots vibes, that independent media to definitely come in and get that vibes from him. I think is me, Lofty, Matt. Does Matt challenge? Matt asked the question. Matt asked, yes, Matt. I'll put Matt in it as well. You know who I miss, guys? I miss Angelo Allen. That's who I miss. I miss Angelo Allen, and I was trying to see if I could get him to come and start doing this thing online, but I probably doesn't care to do this stuff. Anyways, but I miss Angelo Allen right there when it comes down to grassroots, real media understandings, man, and exposing certain things right there. Why did he just go silent? Why do you think he went silent, man? I think Angelo Allen was a boss in what he used to do right there. Anyways, let me just read the remaining. Dominica Vibes is saying, speaking about business, well, I just read that. My sources are very credible. I believe you, but I still have to say allegedly. I still have to say allegedly. There are lawyers who tend to watch my videos and they tend to help me, do certain things. Even though I might be saying the right things or I might be saying accurate stuff, I still have to say alleged. So that's how it goes from time to time. But I definitely do believe you have credible, very credible sources on that. But it's alleged. Okay? Let me just run with that right there. Anyways, guys, thanks for being a part of this here vibrations right there, guys. I see there's 42, 45. I've seen two numbers, 42 and 45. There have a number of you guys who have been on this year chat for 2 hours, almost 2 hours with your boy. Thanks, I appreciate you guys for definitely tuning in to yet another BRBPTV live interaction reaction. Tune in next Sunday, hopefully. We will be back again for another one. And obviously, during the week, if you guys have certain things, you can definitely message me on brbptv at gmail.com and let me know if there's anything out of the ordinary or something of that sort that you want me to react to as well. Like I always say, guys, click the like button, click the thumbs up button on this here vibrations. Hopefully, we can get to interact a bit more. As 2025 is continuing, guys, I will hopefully be going live with some of you guys right there. Obviously, I have to do a whole shift off of my systems. I have been getting some information where I have to do some shifting of stuff and thing. If you see my setup right now, it's ghetto. My setup is ghetto right now. But hey, you have to do what you have to do and make sure that everything is fine and dandy right there and then. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning into this here vibes. Big up all yourself for being a part of this here vibration, sisters. If you've not done, click the like button and of course subscribe to this here channel as well. Obviously, like I indicated before in the previous live interaction reaction, I will be doing more podcasts in this year one. We are targeting 25, at least 25 podcasts for this year. So you know it's going to be on and popping right there. We're not going to be making any mistakes. Obviously, you know, guys, when I'm back in Dominica, we're, you know, going crazy with this stuff right there. A number of persons in the US wanted to give their stuff as well, but I suspect I'll do it. You guys will just watch and see how things go. So definitely subscribe for more vibrations as they tend to come through. It is about Miss Licks. Once again, guys, be real. Salute the king always. Be positive.